Hello everybody. Thank you so much for coming to the channel. I'm Megan, the faithful fibromyalgia warrior, and I'm so glad you guys decided to check out this video of mine. If you've been here before, thank you for coming back. If you are checking out these videos, or this one in particular, for the first time, thank you. And for those of you who have subscribed, thank you for all of your ongoing support as always. Of course, I have to just put this disclaimer out there. I am not a medical professional in any way. Everything that I talk about are things that I have found out for myself by doing them myself. So in other words, what I'm doing right now is what has helped me improve on my chronic pain, my autoimmune conditions, and my overall well-being. So I just want to get right into it. So it is Monday, August the 8th. Where has the summer gone? I don't know. It's been a beautiful, warm, sunny day here in Colchester, England. I'm just sitting outside in my backyard, enjoying this beautiful evening. It's just after 5 o'clock here now. And wherever you happen to be, I hope you're doing well. So if you don't know this already, I will just summarize. So I am in recovering for bulimia and also for sugar and carb addictions. I am also somebody who has been diagnosed with depression, as well as quite serious anxiety issues. I also have IBS and leaky gut, Raynaud's syndrome. I also have osteoarthritis in my wrists and in my fingers. And I have, I don't know if I said it or not, fibromyalgia. Now, those are all the symptoms, those are all the conditions I've been diagnosed with. I have to say that ever since I have been keto and now carnivore, which I started this whole journey 2 years ago, things have improved amazingly. For one thing, oh, and I also have an underactive thyroid. So for one thing, my eyebrows have grown back in. My eyelashes are not constantly falling out. I don't have super dry, flaky skin all the time. I don't have these, bits of hair that just seem, my hair doesn't break off like it used to. It's long now and it's healthy, which honestly, it didn't matter what shampoo or conditioner I used before. When I was still eating carbs and plants, it just made no difference, okay? I've been watching some amazing video content. If you don't know them, you should check these guys out. Obviously, you should definitely go check out the Plant Free MD, which is Dr. Anthony Chaffee. You should check out the videos by Professor Bart Kay, Dr. Sarah Zaldivar, Steak and Butter Gal, Go Keto with Casey, Carnivore Yogi, and of course Dr. Shawn Baker. And they have some amazing content out there about the reasons why a meat-based, dare I say, carnivore diet is ideal for human beings. And I don't want to get into all the different reasons. I'm assuming if you're watching this, it's because this is a path you are interested in potentially taking. I can't tell you to take it, of course, but for me it has worked amazing wonders, and there have been so many people who have had so many health issues, if not fully resolved, then dramatically improved, and I am certainly one of them. So 2 years ago when I started on keto, which I started in, I would say mid-June, and I went fully, I went fully plant-free, almost plant-free, because I was still drinking coffee, which coffee beans are plants, right? And I was still having the occasional bit of avocado, which I had to remove because I realized I don't tolerate it. And I was still having, more so than the coffee, I was still including a bit of dairy in my diet, which I do not tolerate at all. But even still, because I got rid of all the seed oils, I got rid of all the processed crap, all the sugar, all the carbs, all the fructose and glucose and everything else, seeds, grains, nuts, all plant stuff, other than the coffee that that is, that comes from plants eventually. Other than that, I cut out everything else. And even that alone made a massive, massive difference. So within 4 months, I was down 60 pounds. I was about 190 pounds at that time, which, if you haven't seen some of my other videos, I will let you know that is about what I weighed during my second pregnancy. And I certainly was not pregnant at the time. And I was so puffy and so inflamed. My brain fog was unbelievable. I could barely remember conversations I'd had with people 5 minutes previously. That's how bad it was. And I couldn't function. At the time, of course, we were in the height of the first lockdown, and I realized, I need something to deal with this stress and anxiety. And as a Christian that had kind of been ignoring God for a while, like 15 years, putting him at the bottom of my list, I wanted to reconnect and have more meaningful time, and I wanted to be able to start praying again. But I found it really difficult because my mind would completely wander. And so it became very frustrating for me from that point of view. And as I lost the weight, I was starting to lose the brain fog. Something that had been with me since 2014, which is when I suffered a lower back injury and a disc bulge, and with a multitude of pain medications that I was taking, and I still do take, okay, but they had really not had, it felt like they weren't effective any longer. And that certainly did not help with me having a clear mind, but the fact that fibromyalgia added to that made it even worse. And I was desperate to lose the brain fog. I didn't think I ever would. I thought I would. This is me. This is how I'm going to be stuck. Just before lockdown, finding out I had an underactive thyroid, which I knew already, but none of the medical people believed me, in spite of all the different symptoms that I was, at least dealing with potentially Hashimoto's, more likely hypothyroidism. My LDL they felt was too high. More importantly, my triglycerides were way too high, and I was already headed towards non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. And not because I was eating sweets and cakes all the time. It's because of all the fruit I was eating, thinking it was healthy. And that's maybe a topic for another video. But yeah, so when I saw the consultant, they put me on statins to lower my LDL. I'm hoping that I'll be able to come off them when I have my annual review in a few weeks. But they also, she also said, just cut your fruit intake down. Don't eat anything sugary. And that was it. That was all she really said to me. And just, be kind of careful with some of your processed carbs. But, if you're going to eat bread, make sure it's whole wheat, that kind of thing. Because, of course, that's what everyone believes, because they don't know any different. She doesn't specialize in any sort of nutrition research. She is a lipidologist. I believe that was the job title. She is the one who said, oh, by the way, you also have an underactive thyroid. I'm going to give you some thyroid medication that should help. And let's see what happens. And I've been on 50 micrograms of it. And to be honest, it wasn't until I changed my diet that there was any noticeable difference, because I was constipated all the time. My metabolism was basically non-existent. It didn't help that I had over 30 years of bulimic behavior. And so all the restricting and the binging and purging threw everything off whack. And I just thought, that's it. I can't control it. I can't help it. I'm just going to constantly be putting on weight. That is just my fate. And I'm here to say it wasn't. That was not the case. And I still have a hard time believing that in 4 months I lost 60 pounds. I literally did not do anything else other than cut out everything except for, eventually, bacon, ground beef, and eggs. That was it. And I still kept my coffee, and I either had it with cream for a while or for full fat milk, but then I realized I couldn't deal with the the dairy. So I did foolishly start drinking almond milk, thinking, it's okay. Almond milk is okay on a keto diet. So sure, why not? Not realizing that almonds are one of the worst culprits for oxalates. I didn't even know what that was at the time. Just to put your mind at ease, I don't put anything in my coffee. And actually, on Saturday, I'm so happy I managed to get through an entire day with only decaf. I don't need, I'm breaking that addiction. So keep your fingers crossed for me. But I digress. What I was so excited about in the first 4 months when I was more keto than carnivore was the weight that I was losing, because it was huge, because I wasn't exercising. I wasn't still in too much chronic pain. My back was too sore. I literally could not do anything. And I didn't realize it at first, but my inflammation actually did start to go down. My pain actually became manageable. So instead of this chronic sharp pain in my back that was always there, it was a duller pain. And the neck pain that I deal with constantly, and the shoulder pain, was now less constant. And actually, I didn't have to wear my compression gloves all the time on my hands. Some of the times I did, especially when the weather got, if it was too cold out. But other than that, I found that I was able to, write down a quick note or text messages or even play a game on my phone for longer without needing compression gloves because of my arthritis pain. And you know what? If you had said to me 8 years ago that I would even get to that point, I would say you're absolutely insane. No way. And yet, here I am. And so that was 60 pounds. And then probably a month or so after that, I lost another five pounds, I think. But more importantly, I was dropping body fat. I was building a bit of muscle, and my brain fog was almost completely gone. And now suddenly I'm able to, during stressful times like the ongoing, we're in lockdown, we're not in lockdown, COVID's still here, yes, we still have to wear masks, yeah, we can travel, no, we can't travel, all of that insanity. When I was feeling overwhelmed, I was actually able to go and meditate and spend time praying and feel at peace and not let my anxiety overtake me. And that was last year. Now, what I've noticed even more with being full carnivore, with no plants, okay, almost no plants. I don't know if coffee counts anymore because the beans are roasted and processed and then you put water over it. So I don't know if it, and I'm going either with just decaf or nothing. But with cutting out all the last of this, no more sweeteners, not that I really did them anyways because of my IBS. So no sweeteners, no dairy, no almond milk. I'm really trying to stick to, if I'm going to drink anything, it's going to be just a decaf coffee. And do you know what? I can't believe the energy I have. It took me some time, okay? But if you had told me 2 years ago that I would be able to cut back on and come off of caffeine like I was drinking it then, I would have said, no way, I'm not giving that up. I've given up so much. I'm not going to give that up. I'm not going to give up my almond milk. I don't want to give up cappuccinos and lattes. And yet, I was finally able to. And it wasn't like an instant thing. I realized how much better I feel without it in my system. Now, if you enjoy it and you don't have any issues with it, that's your choice. Hey, I get it. Especially if it's really, really good coffee. But for me, that has made a huge difference. Let me put it to you like this. Now, actually, before I do that, one of the other things that I've been starting to do regularly, and this was ever since, I think it was November, December, maybe? No, maybe it was February. Somewhere between Halloween and I think February, March. I can't remember the exact time when I had my kidney infection. But in order to get my fever to come down, my husband brought me outside. I had to sit outside in the cold weather, put my bare feet on the damp grass, and have it cool me down because I was burning out with fever. And if it didn't break, they were going to have to admit me to the hospital, which I didn't want. And I remembered some videos that Carnivore Yogi had done about trying to get out, grounding yourself outside, even if it's winter, unless you're in like 4 feet of snow, even if it's just for a minute, because it's good for it helps your body. And I remembered that. And right around that same time, once I finally got over the initial bit of being super sick, once the antibiotics did finally kick in, I remember stepping outside with my robe and slippers on and just closing my eyes, taking my glasses off, and turning my face up towards the sky where the sun would be beaming down these healing red lights. And it's crazy. I thought it was hoo-ha. And then when I started to do it little by little over time, I started to actually readjust my circadian rhythm. And now I wake up naturally somewhere between 6 and 7, and I'm generally up with quite a bit of energy. I don't need caffeine in the morning. And I've actually had a few times where I've been able to do some morning stretches, work with resistance bands a little bit, and I feel fantastic. And it's just that final little piece, Now, I didn't get there right away. It took me 2 years to work up to this point, and it might take you that long. You might be trying things already to ease some of your own fibromyalgia pain if that's what you struggle with, and that's okay, right? Rome wasn't built in a day, and we cannot look to change 30 or more years of poor eating overnight. It's just not going to happen. It's going to take us a bit of time. So it depends how bad your fibromyalgia is. And I just thought, I'd lost all this weight, which is great, but I've got some loose skin. It's not massive, but I want to tighten it up. I want to, help get some of the loose skin to tighten itself up. I want to build muscle, build more strength, because the stronger my legs are, my core is, the better, the stronger my lower back's going to be, the less pain I'm going to have there, because I still have a bulged disc, and I still have an irritated and inflamed SI joint, and I still have chronic lower back pain. However, I'm finding that sticking with, for me right now, just ground beef with some egg yolks, a little bit of salt, that's all I need. And I feel amazing. So I've done a super duper duper elimination diet, and this is what's worked for me. It may not work for you. You may not have to go that far, but for me it has. I find I do way better with beef and lamb than I do with pork and chicken. So I don't really eat poultry or pork very often. I have even, just to see what would happen, I took bacon out for a few days, and as much as I enjoy it, I seem to do better without it. Now, I said at the beginning I have all of these different ailments, right? And it's true. Technically, medically speaking, I still have them. However, I have not had IBS issues for a while. I have not had to deal with, the only time my leaky gut has become an issue is if I've eaten something I shouldn't, like spices by accident, or a rich sauce that is too much for me to handle. So I don't do sauces either. But other than that, I feel amazing. And, I keep thinking to myself, oh, but I still can't go to the gym, and I still can't do, lift up weights and all that stuff. Why? Because I still have chronic pain. I still have fibromyalgia, and I'm still at risk of having another disc prolapse if I lift too much or if I twist the wrong way. So I've been advised not to do that. But you know what? That's okay. I have found some very gentle yoga exercises or yoga inspired exercises, particularly for people who've had back injuries or have lower back pain. It's like a very gentle yoga bridge and pelvic lifts, and then I lay on my back and I lift my knees towards my chest, and I do a little bit of resistance. I put some resistance bands sort of behind my feet and just hold it there and just try to push my feet out a bit. And I can feel the muscles stretching, but not to the point of injury, which is amazing. And you know what? I'm actually starting to see changes just by doing that. I'm already starting to see muscles form that I didn't think I'd ever see. So I had to share this because for me, full carnivore has been the best thing possible. If you are somebody who has issues with dairy or has issues with plants or their seeds, then this might be something to consider. Again, I'm not a medical professional and I can't tell you to do this. Obviously, we all have the right and the freedom to choose what we want to do and what we don't want to do. But if you wanted to find out if it could actually help somebody, you're looking at her. Because 2 years ago, there's absolutely no way I ever thought I could even lay on my back with my knees bent and do a gentle, like pull my knees to my chest just to help with my back pain. I couldn't even do that. And now I do it and I feel fantastic. And it actually helps reduce some of my pain. Again, if you think like, oh, well, you must not have been in bad pain before, or you must not know what it feels like. Listen, I have an old video. If you go through my videos, there's an old one on there that I did, I think it was a year, maybe 2 ago, and it says, just because we don't complain doesn't mean we're not in pain. Check it out, because I have been there and I totally know what it feels like. I'm just saying that if you're not at a point yet where you feel like you can do any kind of stretches, or whether it's with resistance bands or just gentle yoga exercises, that's okay. The food alone, changing that could be enough to make a difference. And isn't that amazing? Isn't that what we want? To reduce our brain fog, therefore our depression, to get on top of our anxieties, get on top of all of our issues with maybe food or food addictions, to get on top of things like IBS and leaky gut. Why? By removing the things that are probably causing it in the first place. So I hope this is helpful. If you like this, please let me know. If you haven't yet subscribed to our lovely family, I hope you do. I hope this helps you guys. I really do. This is what's helped me, and I'm feeling so much better, and I feel like I have so much more energy these days. So that's it for now. I was just feeling super excited and had to share it with you guys. So I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are, whatever your weather is. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I will be back with content hopefully sooner than later. That's all for now. I hope you guys have a super, 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 super wonderful day. I hope your day finds you with less pain than before. And if you haven't yet subscribed, it would be great if you did, because honestly, the more, the merrier. Why not, right? Thanks, you guys. All the best. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.